Welcome to Disaster Party Podcast. This is the most anticipated episode we have had to date. We are going to be reviewing one of the worst movies of all time. I'm Rob Cedeno, joined by my co-host.
Oh, daddy. It's Andy Bivians. V-I-V-I-A-N-S. The one true. Whoa, daddy.
I'm not feeling that whoa daddy energy right now. You want to start over?
Studio, whoa. Your American icon. Professional wrestler. Fuck this, I'm done. We're on episode 81.
First of all, you agreed to this like 10 months ago.
And he saw it already.
I agreed to this against my will.
No, nobody held a gun to your head. I think he's just tired because...
Bro, the whole movie is a gun to my head. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no. I think it's more so a situation where you're tired because we've been here in this room all week. A whole week?
Oh,
We haven't showered. We haven't changed our clothes.
Stayed here.
Nothing. Nobody brought us food. You know, like that's where
that pizza never showed up. The pizza never showed up.
You know,
yeah.
Taco Bell canceled our order again. You know the impact when they do the Monsters Ball match where they like lock you in the room with no food and water?
That's what it is.
That's what it is. This is the Malignant room match.
Irrelevant is what it is.
As you can tell, seany-D and B-Rent are back to talk about all things Malignant, a movie which is now on HBO Max and has been since the pandemic.
HBO Max.
If you haven't
for your
watched it
enjoyment,
yet, turn the podcast off and go watch it.
Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself.
Don't do
Enjoy
it.
Just don't do
and
it.
It's a
ignore
masterpiece.
and maybe ignore this because
don't do it.
Andy has been drinking the fucking
Haterade.
super juicy Haterade for mad long.
I will bathe in haterade. Fuck this movie.
That doesn't sound healthy.
I mean, tomato.
If you drink or if you bathe yourself in that negativity, then you are creating a malignant thing for yourself in your own
Right.
life.
Oh,
You're right.
shit.
I bathed myself in negativity because I had to watch this shit twice.
Nobody told you to watch it twice.
Bro, I had to watch it again. You know how long ago it was since I watched that movie?
Because you loved it.
No, because the movie is dumb.
So in another year, you're gonna watch it again?
You are really dumb for real.
For real. So before we even hit record, I realized that it's the same person that brought us Conjuring and Dead Silence, which Dead Silence is a fantastic, phenomenal movie.
Who?
Mr. James Wan.
Okay, see, this is where I need to hear this explanation because I like Dead Silence also, but for you to say that's a phenomenal, magnificent movie, but this movie sucks, that shit's just as campy and B as this is.
I haven't seen that one yet, so I don't know.
So
But it was still better than this.
It made sense. The movie made sense.
It's about
More sense.
It's like Slappy from Goosebumps came to life. It's like killing people.
Yes, but it was a demon.
Okay, and this was we'll
This
get
one
into
was-
it. I'm not gonna give it away yet.
I want to start off as a demon, but I'm really not.
All right. So what? So okay, just get everyone who wants to do like just a general like what the movie's about without spoiling it.
Movie's about
Brent is the biggest fan of this movie, so maybe a rundown, a spoiler-free rundown, so people have an idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Hit him with his own.
If you didn't like this movie, there's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. S-A-W-F-T.
So
Everybody, when they watch it, you're correct, 1,000%.
Whoa. Okay. That was a different movie you watched.
Hey.
hey,
Oh, did I download the wrong one?
So I'm trying to think. It's like hard to sum it up without kind of giving stuff away.
How about this?
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
you want me to do it? I think I got a way to do
You
it.
do it.
All right. So it's basically a
Early
woman.
90s at a research facility on the side of an ocean that's now abandoned.
At Hogwarts.
Not even close. But there's a Voldemort element to it. Because things grow out of the back of people's heads. Several years later, Malignant happens.
Yeah, I was more gonna say a woman who is having these dreams that she is thinking that they're not real, that end up being real
They're
and
not
shadowy.
dreams, though. That's the point.
And but
They're
without
more-
spoiling
they're
it.
they're more like visions. Like she's seeing these like visions, basically.
And she has a dark, cloudy figure that seems to be following her around until we find out who it is.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Bullshit.
Honestly, I didn't hate this movie until midway. Until the
my God,
reveal.
it gets so much better midway.
Oh my god,
The
midway.
reveal is the only thing that made this movie tolerable, and then there's only one other scene that made it tolerable, and then I realized something, and then I was like, "Fuck this movie again." And then there's something that happens at the end, which
You
really
realize
pissed me off.
that you're not smart enough
listen.
to understand and appreciate
Oh,
what's going on
I
here.
understand and appreciate
This movie's all mental.
that shit away.
I like how
wait,
you're doing the
it did go
malignant
straight
voice
to
too.
me.
I will kill you for not liking my movie.
Do you know who I am?
Oh, you mean when Electro showed up and wanted to talk to everybody? Yeah, that was cool.
I can't wait to hear that one. All right, so let's just do.
It's not the same.
All right, let's talk about this awful, in my opinion, opening scene. We're in a hospital.
What are you talking
and-
about?
Go ahead.
Then you describe it, Sean.
about
Please,
this?
you
No,
you describe it.
Okay, go ahead. No, you go ahead and describe it. Do your fucking
Okay.
thing. You're always the lead guy on these movie reviews, which is fine because I don't want to do it. I'm too lazy. But
Yeah, and I try to do Santa Slay.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Oh, I can't
but but after you run through this first like 3 minutes, you have to
Okay.
explain what was so bad about the opening scene.
Oh, I will absolutely do that.
I got.
So I will say the opening scene I wasn't a fan of, right? Then when the movie opened, I was pretty interested, and then when it got to the reveal, I was like, "Ew," and it just went downhill. So I'll explain it. Okay, so we're
That was a sound your dick made.
yeah, pretty much
Yeah, watch
SAWST.
this
So. So we're in a hospital with a bunch of doctors, and the alarm goes off, and they're all in this room dying, and they're just shooting. And then there's doctors with machine guns shooting into this room that you don't know what they're shooting
One guy
at.
with a tranquilizer gun. There was nobody with machine. There was not. You just said it like there was multiple doctors with fucking machine guns. There's one.
Someone had a
guy-
gun.
Talking about
One,
machine guns,
one
talking
guy
about cults.
with a tranquilizer fucking gun.
No, it was it was a gun.
Why are you reviewing
No,
this?
hold on,
pretty
hold
sure
on,
it
hold
was a
on.
gun.
Well, okay, there was a guy that was like a security guard. He did, but Sean might be right though. I don't think
It was an assault rifle.
I don't think so.
It was,
I think it was supposed to be
one
like a
guy
tranquilizer.
with a
'Cause they
trank
wanted
gun.
to strap the guy to the chair. They didn't want to kill him. They were trying to like.
You all watched it this morning or today.
Yes.
I watched it
remember
at like
guns.
2:00 this afternoon.
Well, here's
so,
the
like,
thing. He doesn't get it. No matter what kind of gun it is, he don't even get a chance to shoot. He just sticks it out. He gets his fucking arm snapped off. Like his-
No, but the main doctor, or the redhead, she actually picks up the gun and starts shooting it.
But it's a fucking
From what I
trank
remember.
gun because they don't want to kill him yet. It's not until like later. Finish the scene. Finish the scene.
Yeah, it is a tranquilizer because then she says, "Tie him to the chair." Like
See, you
that-
guys
they're
are
trying to
shitting all over a
do an
movie that you
experiment.
didn't even really pay attention to.
Oh, that's.
I
We're
paid
like,
attention.
We're like in the first 2 minutes of the goddamn flick.
That's not.
You're not even letting me get through the movie.
Huh? Huh?
So basically, they tied the person down, and after they killed several of the doctors, and they said the cancer must be removed, and then the opening credits scene
Bro,
happened.
come on. You glossed over like mad shit.
I asked you to do it.
But you're usually better at this than you just were right now.
Oh my god.
All right, go ahead. Shoot
right.
for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll fill in any blanks if you.
The opening scene.
Don't do that voice the whole
Oh
time.
my god.
Chaos ensues in a hospital on a cliff over the ocean in California.
Oh my god.
But no, okay, so it's literally fucking chaos. Everybody's bugging out, saying, "Oh, he's awake or he's hurting people, whatever the fuck is going on." The main redheaded doctor, Dr. Weaver, I think was her name.
Yes, that's correct.
Flo Reaver from the Progressive
Excuse me,
commercials.
Flo.
Yeah.
That would have been mad funny if that's what the doctor came in and said. Excuse me, Flo. Gabriel's killing people.
It would have been great if Gabriel's like, "Excuse me, Flo." Rob is
They
mad
have no
pissed.
idea what we're talking about.
Rob's mad pissed.
Ding.
I'm just letting you guys go.
Okay, so yeah, there's so they go to this room where the only name we've heard so far is Gabriel, and he's fucking people up, and Dr. Weaver goes running down the hallway, and there's like nurses, and it's chaos, and people are bleeding and shit, and people are getting tossed through this fucking door where this room is, and then this other dude comes out, not multiple people, not multiple doctors, one guy with one gun that looks like a machine gun. He goes to want to do something with it. He sticks his like arm in the fucking door, and I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He pulls it back and his bones all
Yeah.
stick out.
It's like, oh, it's all fucking, yeah, man. Nasty break. Yeah, man. And then she goes to pick it up, and they go in the room, and there's people just getting tossed around and bleeding and slammed against walls and shit. And then I think that she finally shoots him, and some guys subdue him. And then there's like this tarped off plastic like area in the room, and they're like, "Oh, get him in there, get him in there, get him in there!" Strap him to like a fucking chair. You can't really see what it is. You see like it's a figure of a body, but at the same time, through the shadows of the
You
plastic,
can see it's like a weird looking
It's like a
thing that kind
weird,
of looks like a
like-
monster, but you can't get like
you
a
can't
good
tell
look
what the
at
fuck it is. You can't tell what it is. And then it's basically a thing where the moments leading up to this, she's like, no, don't shoot him. We gotta like blah, 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 save him, learn from him, experiment on him, all that bullshit. And at the end, she's like, we gotta cut the cancer out. And then scene
Well,
end.
actually, what she says is that's what she decides. Like, she's like, I thought we could help him, but we
Yeah,
can't.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
time to cut out the cancer.
And then scene end. Opening credits.
Mad dramatic music.
Mad dramatic music. And it
Yeah,
goes
it
through
really
about-
was.
It goes through about a minute and 40 seconds of
This
just
guy timed it.
weird shit on the screen showing
It was a lot of
surgical-
weird shit.
Surgical shit.
surgical procedures and ominous music. And then
Yep.
we open up
I
to a house.
I can't.
Any
shit
comments
on
so far,
beginning.
Andy?
I can't. I want to shit all over this, and I can't
He
because it
can't
doesn't
because
make
he knows
sense.
he loves it.
No, because it doesn't make sense because
We're gonna
you have to
circle
see the
back to
rest of
this.
the
Yeah,
movie.
we gotta.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Find out
Yeah.
the reveal and everything, but then we're gonna circle back, and Andy's gonna explain why this doesn't make sense.
yes.
Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
we laid it out. Rob, why'd you hate it?
All right. So I thought the acting in this was very B, and I remember like B movie like when I started watching it, I texted you guys. I was like, "Holy shit,
sorry,
the
Jerry
acting's
Seinfeld.
so bad."
Yes.
What?
And then, but then after this scene, the acting cleaned up, and then I was like, "Okay, I'll loosen up a little bit." But I thought the doctors in this scene were so over the top. Oh my god! Look what happened! And it just it's
the acting
so
throughout the movie
campy.
was very over the top.
Well-
There's a lot of over the top acting throughout the whole movie.
But like, does anyone ever really watch a horror movie to see good acting? Like
Exactly.
Some.
that
I've seen some pretty shitty horror movies that has really shitty acting. This was about that level.
I feel like that's the thing. You keep saying like B movie, like it's a bad thing, but I feel like this is supposed to be a B movie. That's
See, I didn't, but I think that's what my issue
I think
was.
the
Is
most
that I
over
did
the
not.
top acting was Wanda Sykes.
that wasn't Wanda Sykes.
That's not Wanda Sykes. I thought the same thing. That's
Mad
not Wanda
racist.
Sykes.
No, tell me. I know it's not
Wow.
Wanda Sykes, but tell me that did not look like her from like
she
the
did
90s.
have a similar haircut.
She looked like her from the 90s,
Yeah.
and she talked like her and sounded like her.
Sean was thinking of Pootie Tang. I thought of it too, but it's not Wanda Sykes. No, but I agree with you, Rob. Yeah.
She was like the comic relief for the movie, though.
No, she was
Yeah.
an asshole.
Well, she was, but
Well,
she was
she was funny though. See, I didn't go into this movie though thinking it was a B movie, and maybe that was my error. I think if I went into this movie expecting a B horror movie, I probably would have had a much different opinion on it. But I thought it was a more serious horror film, similar to Conjuring and Saw and all those other movies.
You know, that's actually a very good point.
Yeah, considering James Wan's history, of course.
That might be the reason.
I think
why
that
I
was
hate
the
this
issue.
movie so much.
No, the reason you hate this movie is because you
'Cause
do
that
not
was
have any
garbage.
fucking taste.
Fucking trash.
All right, we'll talk more about that at the end. What director James Wan's intentions actually were.
We
what
are
think.
15 minutes into this podcast, and we've only discussed the first 3 minutes of the
the
movie.
opening
Bro,
scene.
I texted you guys
Yep.
10 minutes into the movie, like, fuck this movie. But anyway.
All right. So I'll try to keep it going. All right. So now we're 27 years later. We're in Seattle with the main character, Madison, who we find out is pregnant and is at her house and whatever. Her husband comes in, who is kind of a dick. And
No.
he
He didn't come in.
What?
He was in bed late. He was in bed
'cause he's an
late
Oh,
watching
yes.
TV.
sack of shit.
She
Yes,
came
sir.
in on him and interrupted his piece, and that's why she got what she got.
This guy's a dick. Did anyone notice that he
I'm
was
not
watching
gonna-
UFC and then
Yeah,
he
he
like
was.
smashed her head in? Like, oh, this guy's like getting mad, too amped up watching UFC, and then he like
Yeah.
did domestic
Yeah.
violence.
She comes home from work, hard day's work. She got a lazy ass, abusive husband. She's pregnant. She comes into the bedroom, this big ass house. Why do they always have like these young couples where only one of them are fucking working, and they got these big ass old like Victorian houses that are cost way more than they can fucking afford. But anyway, I digress. She comes into the bedroom, and he's just chilling, watching UFC. He's like, "Why are you home early, you dumb bitch? I'm watching
Well,
MMA."
her biggest mistake, she turns the TV off. I was watching
That was the start of it.
Yeah. And so she goes into the bathroom, and she's like, "Oh, so and so, whatever the baby, we'll call it it, was giving me a hard time today." He's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "It was just really wiggly and shit."
You know what?
Being a fucking baby and being pregnant. I don't know.
It just clicked to me. I didn't realize that she meant the baby. I thought she said like a name. I thought she was talking about like somebody at her job was giving her a hard time.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah, I
basically,
figured it was a
she's
baby, too.
pregnant. She's having a rough pregnancy, and this dickhead, good for nothing, fucking dipshit, is just laying in bed watching MMA all day, and he's like, "Well, what do you mean? Who's giving you a hard time?" And she's like, "Come on, don't do this. Don't do this to me." And then basically he starts getting mad at her.
Well, he makes a comment like,
Yeah.
"How many times do I have to watch my children die inside you?" So that's our first
Yeah.
thing that we know she's had at least one miscarriage.
She's like, "Come on,
Probably
don't do
more,
this.
actually.
Don't go there. Don't go there." And then they get in each other's
And then
faces,
he
and then
pushes her against the wall.
oh, he fucking
More than push,
He
smashes her head
fucking
against the
smashes her head into that hard ass old school Victorian house, fucking 3/4 inch sheetrock. And there you go. And then he leaves. She like kicks him out of the room. She locks the door, and he's like on the other side of the room, on the other side of the door, all like nice, like, "I'm so sorry. I'll do better.
It'll never happen again.
I'm not drinking
I stopped.
anymore.
I stopped drinking. I'll do better." And then as it goes on, and she's ignoring him, he's like, "Stop doing this."
I don't know why I'm laughing. The guy's a piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Well, maybe because it
So-
wouldn't happen to him. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah, that's true. So now Madison falls asleep, and all of a sudden, her man's is downstairs. I
like
guess
on the
watching
couch,
TV.
reading.
8 hours later.
Yeah, exactly. So all of a sudden, things start flickering in the house. He starts hearing things in the kitchen. So he goes in the kitchen. It was like the blender was on. Then the refrigerator was open. Then the back door was
That
open.
motherfucker was regulated to the couch.
You might as well go outside and investigate a scary noise or something. It's like Ghostface. It's the number one thing you don't do.
Everything's opening up.
And then all of a sudden, this dark figure ends up just fucking him up. And you guys could describe it, but it was pretty.
Basically, he's on the
fucking-
couch. He's sleeping, and he wakes up, and lights start kind of flickering. TV's on. He shuts the TV off. TV comes back on. He shuts it off. Leaves the room. He's like in the other room. Here's the TV get turned back on. Comes back in, and then
Well, the one thing that happens is the TV flicks on, and then it looks like there's someone sitting on the couch, and it looks like Madison, which we'll find out why later. But like, and then it like flickers back off, and then there's no one there, so he thinks, "Oh, I'm just seeing things." But then next thing you know, yeah, he gets like I don't know, like a fucking
well, it looked like
shadow
it
hand
looked like he got
slashes-
like it looked like he got his. There was an arm that was like a knife,
Yeah.
like a machete. And it looked like he got stabbed through the fucking head or some shit. But then when they showed it, like, the next day,
It looked like his neck was snapped, like it was facing the opposite way. Like,
yeah, and bones were just, like,
Yeah, like
side.
like his head,
Yeah,
like his bottom jaw to his upper, like just.
man. Vertebrae were just, like,
Said what arm fusion? Hurrah!
Yes.
Yes. Anyway,
And then-
dead. Good riddance. Fuck that piece.
And then at that point, Madison wakes up from her dream, ends up downstairs, sees Derek, starts freaking out. She locks the
You're
door.
the
She
asshole
sees
name.
the.
Well, he's looking at the.
Well, it says it right here.
Just from now on. He's dead anyway, we're not talking
She locks the door. She gets scared, and then all of a sudden she wakes up in a hospital.
She fucked.
Fair?
Well,
She woke
Yeah,
up and
sees
like
the
baby's gone.
like her pillowcase was covered in blood, and why you wouldn't go to the hospital with a head injury like that? I mean, she was kind of forced to go there, wasn't she?
Yeah, and that is a
Well,
point.
no,
They
no,
do
what
keep.
happens is-
She keeps touching the back of her head too, and all
She
the blood
goes
that's there.
downstairs, she sees the dead body, and then she gets like attacked, kind of, or like something slams against the door, and she like falls back and gets knocked out. And then when she wakes up, she's in the hospital.
She sees him, and he's chasing her up the stairs, and she tries to shut him out, and they're playing fucking patty cake with the door back and forth. Finally get it closed, and then the cop's gone.
I can't like get past the lack of energy from Andy right now.
I know, man. This
I'm
is
just
depressing.
biding
Like,
my time.
I
'Cause
mean
I
this.
can't say anything yet because nothing will make
I'm
sense.
saying this as a concerned friend who knows what his normal energy levels are on this podcast and not on this podcast in real life. And this is like depressing.
Just you wait.
This movie killed
You wait.
his mood, killed his vibe. All right, so let's keep moving. So Madison wakes up in the hospital. She's informed by her sister that she lost her baby again. Then she's interviewed by the police. We have Shaw and Moss. So now Madison returns back home. She reveals to her sister that she was adopted at 8 years old and has no memories prior to her life. She then is
Most
in
of
her
us don't have
house
memories
at,
prior to our life.
well, that's what it says. To her prior life. So now she's in the house alone, and she's like looking out the window, and like the street lights flashing. You see the black shadow, and then she starts freaking out. The doors are open again. She has this big panic attack, kind of thing. Right.
Well, there's also like a chase scene here where like it's like, and actually this, I usually don't get into like, oh, the way something's shot or the camera angle, but this scene is cool the way it's shot.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
looking
yeah.
down like a top down view, and you see her running like all the rooms in the house. To Sean's point, you see how big the damn house is. It's like a giant mansion because he's running through mad rooms. And she's
But the thing is, she's not being
There's something
chased.
else about this house that I won't get into yet, but there's like a small detail about this house that just bothered the fuck out of me both times I watched this movie, and I can't get over it. But anyway, go ahead.
But they didn't show anything.
No, I think
they
it was
didn't
just
show
in her head
anyone
because like
chasing.
she saw the shadowy figure outside, and then the back door was open. So I think she was just like being paranoid.
Yeah. So then at this point, she ends up like falling asleep again or something. And now they go to this like mine, this underground tour. And you're like, why?
Mine?
So then why? And then this
Mine?
woman is like the tour guide. She's doing it, telling everybody this. All the people leave. So she's like turning all the lights off. And then all of a sudden, while all the lights are off, she starts hearing something. She plugs the light back on. Nothing's there. She looks up. And a monstrous figure ends up attacking her.
Jumping on her.
Jumping down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
That chase scene, I will give the movie, was kind of cool. Her running through the mine to shut the light on. That was kind
It
of
was shot cool,
way
but
it
I
was
mean,
shot.
it's stereotypical like horror movie. I mean, there's nothing special about it.
Yeah.
That's what you liked.
It was a chase. It was cool. Yeah. It was flip back and forth.
That's what you liked about this movie.
That's
The same
only
thing in every
to
other
like
horror
about
movie?
This fucking movie. I
All
digress.
right, go ahead, Rob. Proceed.
We're putting
So now, no, it's just been a long day. So now Madison is, she woke up. She's still bleeding from the back of her head, and she's in her kitchen. She's about to do laundry, and all of a sudden she like freezes. She can't move, but it's kind of weird. It kind of shows where she is, but then it does this like trickle effect to show that like it's in a different setting. So now it shows the same doctor that was in the beginning of the movie, and it's in her house, and you're kind of seeing her just walk around, and then she ends up getting attacked by said being with, isn't the trophy?
Yeah.
They like the trophy of a
Yeah.
sword,
Yep.
and ends up getting her in her kitchen and stabbing her in the kitchen with the trophy. And then Madison, who is visualizing all this, is freaking out. She like breaks out of it and is freaking out because she's like, I just saw someone get killed.
Another cool thing about that movie when she leaves her place and goes into somebody else's place.
The walls like melt and shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
now
was
it's cool.
The movie had cool spots. Still fuck this movie. Still fuck this entire movie. It had cool spots, but still fuck.
Well, and the thing is, then she sees on the news about like the doctor getting killed, so that's how she knows like it's real. She's like, it really happened. I saw it. I don't. She doesn't understand though. Like, how did I see? Like, how was I there? It doesn't make any sense. Like, but
Did you mention? So the person that just got killed is Dr. Weaver.
Yeah.
Who was the doctor?
The one
from
who removed
opening
the cancer.
scene. Who? It's time to cut the cancer out.
And then
Yep.
the killer said, "I'm going to show you what the cancer can do now." Stab the fuck out of her.
Cool callback before he,
I'm gonna cut the
turned
cancer
into,
out of you.
Bumblebee.
What?
Started talking to her through her fucking TV and radio.
You're really angry.
Yeah, why does that bother you of all things? Like,
No, I said it was a cool callback that he said.
oh, he said it
called back
very
to the beginning.
said it.
sarcastically, though.
You said
No,
it.
no, I said him talking like Bumblebee through her TV and radio.
You said it with the wrong tone.
Him talking through the TV and the radio as Bumblebee.
Talking to my guy all wrong. It's the wrong tone. You do it again, stab you in the face with a siren.
Oh, is that so?
Boom! Get it a soda. I messed it up. I missed a line.
You're close enough. These guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about
Yeah, I know.
anyway.
Ding!
Word. Ding.
Next.
Yeah, Joe Dierte.
Oh, dirt. Which one? The first
I
one.
still haven't seen the
We
second
never saw
one.
the sequel.
No, I haven't seen the second one.
I watch them both. We'll do a
You really
marathon.
want the second
We'll do a watch along. We'll watch it and
Yes.
comment on it.
Yes.
We'll probably get a copyright strike for that, though.
Nah, if you like cut it off like every few seconds, it's good to go.
All right.
Word. So now the police officers are still trying to investigate everything, and then they come across Weaver. And in this process, they kind of realize that Madison and Weaver have a connection.
Well, I mean,
Not that quick.
it's not that cut and dry.
They realize that she specializes in what was it, like
They're go-
reconstructive
she's
surgery
got-
on girls
Reconstruction.
and
She's
shit.
got
And she's got
all
like,
the
books
files,
about
all
her
the case
patients.
files and shit from all her patients over the years at her
Oh.
house.
Oh, hold on. Yeah,
here
no,
it comes.
fuck that. So,
Look who just came to life.
tell me how fucking Mr. Magical Bumblebee over here wants to be like, it's time to cut the cancer out. When it's years later, and she's like, wait, who is this? And she hangs up the phone, and she's like, I know exactly what book that's in, and what case file, and what number, and here we go. And she automatically grabs the book and accidentally...
Well, I'm pretty sure that that's not something she said like that many times throughout her career, and that was a very like.
Well, she might have recognized the voice because it was a mad evil sounding thing through the radio, just like it
And
did.
that was like a very
he spoke to the radio at the
You
beginning of the
saw
movie.
all
How
the
many
books
times-
on the shelf.
There was
You mean
like
to tell me out of that one, you were
How,
like,
and
How
how many
many
cases do you think
times-
she had like that one?
right, seriously, yeah, that's a pretty
Who
memorable
knows?
thing.
if she was dealing with shit like that, who knows? She could have had cases like that. She was like, that was case 0274. This
Yeah.
book
How
right
many-
here.
You reaching, bro?
How-
Reed Richards, you're
Listen,
reaching, bro.
How many malignants do you think there are in the world in this movie?
There shouldn't have been any.
Well, there is one,
There should be
and she
zero.
remembered the one.
Okay, I digress.
You mad for no reason?
the one Billy
That was
Gunn.
bullshit. She said, oh, I know.
I don't remember that shit.
02741. Let me get the book. It's this book right here.
You tell me you wouldn't remember that.
Fuck no, not years later. Randomly.
If that was like
That's a
the-
traumatizing experience, bro. You'd remember.
dude, I think there's something in you that just like severs ties easily, and maybe you should talk to somebody about that.
Fuck this movie. I digress. Keep going.
I think you're on mute, bro.
Andy doesn't deal with trauma very well.
Word. Yeah, I was yelling at my dogs. Yeah, it's okay, Andy. It's okay. You know, we'll move on.
That's bullshit.
So now Madison and Sydney, her sister, approached the cop because Madison had another vision, which we'll go into. She was like at her house. She was laying in bed, and all of a sudden she like appears in one of the other doctors' beds as the monster thing is on top of the doctor,
Well,
essentially killing him.
Stabbing the shit out of his face.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's like it's a little more. There's more to it than that. It's like you
That's true. Like the whole wetness when the window's open, he walks in and out.
I can give. Oh wait, no. Is this the? This isn't the hotel one. This is the bathroom one. right?
No, this is the one before that.
No.
You're talking about not the one where the guy was in the tub, not the toilet, the tub.
This is the bedroom one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can give credit where credit is due, and they did a very insidious thing to where when she woke up in the bed with him, and then the monster crawls over her from through the door, and what you see is the black shadowy figure. That was dope.
And if you put it in slow motion, not that I did, but if you put it in slow motion when she stabs that dude, when in Malignant, not Insidious, when Malignant, we'll call it Malignant because whatever the fuck. Have we been introduced to the name yet or no?
I don't think so. I think that's coming up.
I think she does call him Gabriel at the beginning in the opening scene, but we'll call him Malignant.
Yeah. So when Malignant fucking climbs over her and stabs that dude in the face, if you put that shit in slow motion, that shit is fucked up and brutal and nasty.
It's sick, fuck.
Well, it was like throat, face, throat, like just fucking brutal. Do it.
But I actually thought that the introduction to the Malignant in this scene was pretty cool because he was alone in his apartment or whatever. He
like goes to close. So he's like looking in his closet. There's like wet footsteps and all that shit. The window's open. He goes to close the window.
Yeah, and he just didn't question it at all, though.
Right. Well, he goes to close the window, and the thing is like standing in the corner behind him, and you think it's going to get him then, but like any good horror movie, it keeps you guessing.
Do not underestimate the sneakiness.
Yeah. And then he closes the window and goes to bed. The thing ain't there.
That's the callback to the Insidious, though, or the Conjuring, where like when they're in that other world and they're walking, like the guy. This scene always freaked me the fuck out in those movies, where they're in the bed and the guy is walking back and forth outside, and you see him walking back and forth past the window, and all of a sudden he walks in the bedroom. That scene freaked me the fuck out, and I feel like that was
like when they walk upstairs, they hear the baby crying, and you see the figure standing behind like the fucking sheer curtains.
Yeah. I feel like that was one of those deals. So he definitely incorporated a lot of his other good, better movies.
I'll tell you one thing: you don't listen to Tiny Tim the same way anymore after watching those movies. Well, Rob, you don't listen to Tiny Tim while you're driving around all day?
No.
This guy doesn't know how to live.
Damn it, sorry.
Yeah. There's Vince Russo.
So now,
time.
I was gonna say, wasn't he?
Madison.
No, he's been dead for or some shit.
No, but he was at a WWF thing one time. Like,
I don't know.
well, when did he die?
I don't know. But
it was
if you listen to Vince Russo, if you ever listen to Vince Russo interviews, that motherfucker loves Tiny Tim, which might explain a lot of his booking decisions. But I digress. This is not that podcast.
All right. This is not that podcast. All right. So Madison and Cindy go to the police officers to tell them that Madison had a vision, explaining exactly what we just saw. The cops were questioned it, and then Madison was able to figure out what apartment. So they figured it out. They were like, "Whoa, she's right," kind of thing, right? Then I think at the point, this is when Gabriel called. Oh no, yeah. So they're in the police station. Madison goes to the bathroom and she gets a call, and it says unknown, and it's staticky, and then it's Gabriel, who's basically like, "I've always been here. I'm back. Let's go." Kind of.
You let them tell me I was fake, and now I'm gonna fuck you up.
Now he can fucking call people.
He's gonna make everyone pay.
He's got fucking Boost Mobile now.
Yes.
You're gonna pay. You're gonna pay. Dead man walking backwards.
So at this point, I was like, honestly, at this point, I was like, okay, this movie is not that bad, because I was like, okay, there's a mystery aspect to it. The deaths have been pretty cool. The whole dream sequence is kind of cool. So now, Madison and her sister. Madison, the crew, Jesus Christ. They go to visit her mom.
Yeah, escape the Madisons. Oh, another fun fact. Actress who plays the sister, her real name is Madison. Like the actress.
Oh, okay.
Cool. You crazy Dutch bastard.
Oh, we lost.
So now they go back to the mom's house, and they start looking at old VHSs of Madison talking to her
back to the mom's
imaginary
house.
friend.
We didn't talk about the first time they were at the mom's house.
Well, I was trying to say it, and then I just said we're going back there now.
He's doubling back.
Yeah, I'm doubling back now.
But you can't double back
Anyways.
if you weren't there the first time.
So now they are watching VHSs of Madison talking on like a play phone to Gabriel.
I'm gonna cut you off.
Oh my goodness.
They go to the
Okay,
mom's
go ahead.
house because they're like, we need answers. We need answers to what Malignant is and who is this guy Gabriel. They go to the mom's house and she's just in the middle of nowhere, chilling on her front porch in a fucking wheelchair. And they pull up and they're like, hey, Mom, remember when you adopted me when I was 8? I don't remember anything before that. But who's Gabriel? And the mom looks mad scared. And she's like, oh, shit. We thought we all forgot about that stuff, especially you. And your little sister doesn't know shit about it. So let's go inside. Let's dig through all this shit that we're hoarding and find these VHSs.
Fucking random VHS.
Shout out to VHS tapes.
Yep. But yeah, and then they go watch that shit on like a little fucking 13-inch TV in the living room.
Pretty much.
She's on the phone with him, and he's like, you know who I am. You know who I am. Say my name. She's like, Gabriel! Now she all of a sudden knows.
She's like, I know him. I know him.
I know his name. His name is Gabriel.
It's a repressed memory,
How
bro.
I know him. But
It's a repressed memory, and it came
Like,
out.
I said his name without even knowing it. It just came to me.
pissed me off.
Anywho, yeah. Now, mom, sister, and sister.
Never knew how much I missed you.
That's right. Now they watching
Nobody know.
VHSs in the hoarder house.
Go, sister.
Where's the smart guy when you need him? Why wasn't he in the movie?
Smart enough to stay the fuck out this movie.
Rob
Word.
hates his life right now.
No, I'm just trying to get back on.
Get back on track. So they watch the old home movies, and they see Maddie is like talking to herself like it's an imaginary friend. No, don't say that, Gabriel. Blah blah blah. And
Well,
like,
first they're making her a birthday cake from when they first adopted her, and she's blowing out the candles, and she's like, "Hey, you don't say that." And they're like, "You don't say what? Who don't say what?" She's like, "Oh, nothing."
I'm not talking.
Stupid says
And then
what?
it's like they're in the, and then like the next video is like them in the kitchen cooking. And they go around the corner, and she's like on her toy phone under the Christmas tree, and she's like, "No, Mama's sleeping or some shit."
I won't do that. I
And they're
won't
like,
do that.
What?
Well, she gets in trouble.
she says
for
something like, "Don't
cake.
hurt the baby."
Yeah.
And then the dad's like, "What's going on?"
I wanted her baby. Sorry.
All right. So now, at this point, going back to the police officers, they end up figuring out that there's a link between Madison and the two doctors that have already been killed, which then allows the doctors to get a heads up on the next target, which is Dr. Gregory, one of the doctors from the opening scene. So the police officer ends up getting to the house just as the doctor was being murdered in the tub, correct?
No. He walked
And all of a sudden,
found him
Dead
murdered
when
in
he
a
gets
tub.
there, but Gabriel, Gabriel.
But he's up in the corner
he's
chilling.
Still there, and he's
yeah.
And she's
But at that point,
he's like there, not there, screaming like get out, he's here, whatever. the
he's
fuck.
still here.
Stop it, Gabriel.
Yeah.
here.
This is where the movie goes
Call
to
me
shit.
cowboy. No, this is where the movie gets amazing.
Yeah.
This
This is,
is incredible.
This is where the chase scenes are
All
incredible,
right.
but the movie goes downhill from here.
What do you? No,
All
this is
right.
not where. Okay, you guys
Hit him with his,
stop.
Go ahead.
No, like
We can't even get far enough to even get through this movie. This podcast is gonna be longer than the movie
Then we
was.
can start debating the merits.
All right.
of
I'm
stuff.
not saying anything else.
you
Let's
haven't been
get through
saying
the plot.
shit to begin with.
Let's get through the plot, and then I'm on load.
We're still
All
like
right.
a half an hour away from when shit goes off the fucking deep end.
No, it's going quick. I'm gonna get
The
there quick.
iceberg, baby.
All right. So now they're in the bathroom. Madison is there in her vision. She's saying, "Oh no, they're still there."
Taking a
The
shit.
being the malignant ends up attacking the cop. The cop actually is able to fight his way to survive. There's this big long chase scene. You guys can describe it if you want. The only thing that bothered me of this chase scene was at one point they end up in this like garage which has fucking a fog machine on it. There's like 5 to 10 inches of fog in this place. And there's like random old school cars that are in a fogged up room.
Bro, you're so
And-
wrong. They okay.
What do you mean I'm wrong?
They're in the,
Earlier,
you
you
didn't pay attention to what the lady in
Earlier,
the tour
you
lady was
called
saying.
it. Earlier, you called it
Yeah.
a mine, There was no fucking mines in this movie. She explained that shit. The tour guide underground was like, "Oh, the city burned to the ground like 100 years ago, and they just built everything one story up to stop the flooding and all that shit." So it wasn't a fucking
like an
mine.
underground city.
It was
That's
like
what
the
she was giving
original
tours of.
street.
Okay.
And then
Does it matter if I said
happened,
mine or not?
They're doing Cirque du Soleil. Fucking Malignant's doing Cirque du Soleil down the goddamn
Well, but you're
fucking.
saying that like it doesn't make sense for there to be like a car down there and stuff, but like
And it wasn't cars. There was no cars. There
think
was
he
was a
talking
car.
about-
There was 2
hit him
cars.
with a car.
Yes, there was
no,
cars.
it was like fucking carriages, like horse carriages.
No, it was a fucking car.
No, they were
It
cars.
was like
Straight up car.
like an Al Capone era car.
But
Like,
there's horse,
Yeah.
but there's horse-drawn carriages too. And so after they do all the Cirque
And there was a fog
fire
machine.
escapes. What?
Yeah, there was mad fog.
There was a fog machine.
Normal, or if it was a dream. Scene.
Yeah, it's fucking humid in the sewers, bro.
Bro.
Oh my god, no, it
Wait,
looked
are
like
you
a
being
fog
serious
machine.
that there wasn't a fog machine. You're just saying that because there was a lot of fog. But like,
It was all on the ground though.
Looked
smoke
like
comes up from
Dracula was
New
about
York
to
City.
fucking
Smoke
turn.
comes up from the sewers all the time.
Yeah,
That's
all
what I'm
that-
saying. You guys are
But
like,
it only stayed.
Yeah.
No, it.
Yeah.
There's not that much fucking smoke from the sewer coming
Yes,
up.
there
Wait,
It
wait,
looks
wait,
like
wait,
Turtles.
wait,
Watch
wait,
Ninja
wait.
But
Turtles.
this is actually in the sewer where all that piss steam is. And when we go to the city, and
It smells
when we go to the
so
city, it doesn't come up all those fucking levels. It stays underground, and we don't go down there. But here we are in an underground fucking tour place with old ass storefronts that they built a fucking new city on top of
Alright,
after
listen.
it burned down to the
Bro,
ground
I
and
call
shit.
bull-
I'm never gonna get through this
was about
movie.
to
Yeah,
make
guys,
his
this is a
entrance.
mad
Like-
minor detail that you're like arguing over. It's stupid. Like, who cares about the steam? It's just like
I wasn't even arguing. I was just giving my opinion.
But this is like one of your opinions that makes you hate the movie, and it's fucking not even close to reality.
I didn't say it was an opinion that made me hate the movie. I didn't get to
Back
that part yet.
reality. Oh, the calamity. What? Huh?
This fucking movie. Yo.
I didn't even get to the parts that I hate yet. So we're good. I was just pointing out that it seemed like there was like 5 to 10 inches of random fog in there.
It
That's
looked
all.
like Dracula
It was.
about to pop
They were
out every
underground,
second.
and it was.
It did. It looked like they were in like a haunted mansion or
They
something.
broke. They
Facts.
broke into a. It was. There was no. First, you said, "Oh, they went into a garage." There was no garage. They
Oh
kicked
my
the fucking.
god! It doesn't matter where they went.
Yeah, it does, because your fucking statements are false based on what you think happened. They kicked a basement.
Black Bear.
Malignant during the chase after
Bears.
the fucking acrobatics down the fire escapes. Malignant kicked a like little ass basement fucking window in. And then the fucking cop chased him down
like a
there,
mule kick.
and that's where the horse-drawn carriage is, and back to where the underground tour was from earlier in the movie, where the fucking girl, and we forgot to fucking mention that the girl he kidnapped from the underground tour was fucking tied up in the goddamn fucking attic.
Well,
That's
don't
true.
actually
We don't know
it's
whose attic
attic
yet.
Oh, they showed it like immediately.
But they didn't know where.
Find that out until she falls through the ceiling. You don't know that it's in the.
Yep.
Oh, that's obvious.
I don't know.
No.
I didn't think,
I
that.
didn't think
know
so.
That, that the first
Okay,
time I
regardless, there's no garage here.
Technically, they do because that's where he gets the coat from.
Yeah, but you don't know it's Madison's
Yeah, we don't know the
house,
we
I
don't know the.
But we don't know where it is.
Yeah, that's
but
what I'm saying. I know
Yeah.
you know that he's holding her captive somewhere, but you don't know exactly where it is.
I knew.
All right, back to the back.
No garage. Wasn't fog. It was-
Sean's in high
It's
form
the fuck.
today.
The
Piss
bottom line
steam.
is Malignant escapes. All right, so the cop doesn't get him, and the cop's like, "What the fuck?" Because the thing like moves mad fucking weird. This is when you first notice like something's off with his movements, and you don't. Really,
They don't show it clearly, but
Yeah,
you
you
know
don't really
it's
understand
weird.
why until
And-
later.
At this
During
point, you
this
realize
scene-
it's not a fucking demon. I'm
But
just gonna
during
put
this
that
scene
out
with the
there.
movement, it just looks like fucked up CGI. But you don't realize till later in the movie that it's like specific fucked up movement.
yeah, there's a
Yeah,
reason.
and it like jumped into the ceiling basically. Like was able to climb up real fast and like scale its way out.
Spider pig.
like a spider monkey.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so now
Spider monkey.
can I get through this without getting yelled at? Can I get through
Well,
this
I don't
without getting
know,
yelled
As
at?
I'll probably
long,
yell at you,
as
but-
long as you do it accurately.
Sean's in high form tonight. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I know, he's really on your ass.
Yeah. All right. So now the detectives enlist it's like a psychiatrist, hypnotherapist to unlock Madison's memory. Madison recalls that her first name, or that her birth name is Emily May, and that Gabriel almost led her to kill Sydney, her sister in the womb, and almost had her kill her parents also. After Sydney was born, Madison forgot all about Gabriel because she kind of filled a void of her sister. The kidnapped woman that we were just talking about ends up escaping as they're talking to the psychotherapist.
Exactly.
No, yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
no, that's accurate.
Well, she starts cutting the
She
ropes.
gets loose.
All right,
she
Sean,
gets loose.
it doesn't need to be so specific. This movie's not that good. Who cares?
It's good enough for you to
You
want
guys
to
are
review.
both nitpicking on extreme. You're like
It's
you're
good-
like you're
it's-
like Republicans and Democrats arguing.
Oh God, it's good enough to want to fucking review it on your podcast.
It's called Bad Movie Reviews, bro.
Well, this doesn't fit. This is a great movie, but keep going.
Anyways, so yeah, in this whole memory sequence of Madison, they do show that she's being kind of led to try to kill Sydney in the womb, try to kill her mother, but she always ends up stopping or getting caught. Like with her mother, she got caught. So now the lady ends up falling from the ceiling, all the way from the attic to the main
lady
floor.
is the underground tour
They don't
guide
reveal
lady
it
from
yet.
earlier in the movie that Malignant chained up to fucking ceiling beams.
Yeah,
How
so this-
that
and
was
it-
just weird to
And
me.
this is when we first realized that weird room that he was keeping her captive is actually Madison's attic.
Yeah, the after the like hypnotherapy shit.
Yeah, she falls through the ceiling. Everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Well, they get up to go leave, and they're standing by the fucking front door, and it's just like,
She does like a Matt Foley and smashes through the coffee table.
yeah.
So now Madison thinks that Gabriel was secretly living there, and the woman who fell is Serena.
well, we don't know
May,
that yet.
which-
The cops
This is
are
what's
like,
like-
oh, it came from her attic. It came from her ceiling. She's guilty.
Yeah, she gets arrested.
Yep.
Take her downtown.
Yes.
And this is what I was saying before about the whole thing with the house. My biggest gripe about the house. So every time they showed that room, my gut feeling. I mean, I've seen it twice now. The first time I saw it though, my gut feeling was like, oh, they're in the fucking attic. Why was there that giant ass industrial fan in a fucking residential house?
Yeah,
In an attic.
Right.
Yeah, that one I can't.
That shit, that bugged the shit out of me.
I have no idea.
To throw you off the scent so you wouldn't
Right.
think it was the attic.
Right. Why? And not just that, but I'm jumping a little ahead here, but they're like, oh, they never. I think Gabriel at one point when she's getting questioned by the police and they put him on the phone or he fucking calls him through static electricity or whatever. He's like, the dumb bitch didn't even know I was nesting in her attic. Like, this motherfucker's grinding swords and doing blacksmith shit, like right above where her fucking bedroom is, and she didn't hear any of that.
Well, no, she couldn't hear any of that for obvious reasons. That's coming up.
Well, actually, yeah, that's a good point. That actually is a good point now that I think of it.
All right.
We'll get there.
Sean seems very passionate about this movie.
He's going to
So
bed.
passionate, it's
we have-
it's
again,
overpowering.
we have
it's
a group
overpowering Andy's
You-
hate.
We have a group text, and you motherfuckers have been crying about this shit forever. So you know what? You want to
this
do a fun
movie.
podcast about this fucking about this goddamn movie? We're gonna fucking get it.
Fuck this movie.
I hasn't been crying at all. I don't cry over horror films. I cry over sappy movies. Come on, get that right.
What's your when you want a good cry, Rob? What's your number one go-to Hallmark movie?
Oh, not Hallmark. It's probably some Up.
Yeah, Pixar. If you don't cry at least
Just,
once through a Pixar movie, you don't have a soul.
I have no soul.
That's fair.
I mean,
can agree with that.
Toy Story 3 alone, if you don't cry like 3 times in that movie, you're fucked up.
Especially at the end.
Yeah. That last all 3 times are in that last half hour alone. But anyway, back
I was
to
gonna say
Malignant.
the Green
Yep.
Mile. I still don't necessarily cry, but it does make me sad.
Yeah, I agree.
John called.
Okay.
Like the drink, just not spelled the
Who
same.
cried for Malignant?
I did.
Fucking soul.
I did. I felt very bad for poor Gabriel.
Yeah.
All he wanted was
Oh
to be
my
loved.
He just wanted a chance at life, and he was shut out from the world. The doctors just
All right. Can I speed through this? Like,
Go.
Please finish it.
all right. So now, Serena is in the hospital, and they do reveal that is her mother. Takes a little while, but they do. So now Cindy visits the now abandoned Simeon Hospital where Emily or Madison was treated, and finds out that Gabriel is Emily's twin brother, who did not properly separate from her in the womb and became a large, teratoma, and is now a parasitic
Dr. Weaver
twin.
explained it as an extreme teratoma.
So let's talk about this scene, because this scene, I do think it's kind of funny that like this building is just abandoned and they just left all the files there for like anybody to find. So
I did say that. I was like,
easily, oh, files.
And she seemed to find it really fast.
Got a sign.
And
Files are in the basement. She just goes just goes to the basement, takes the shit. And but no, this part is amazing though when they watch the video and they like do like the slow turnaround. You see Gabriel in the back, like, ah! He's like fucking like this is the part where I'm like, this movie is amazing.
The reveal was awesome.
This
I will
is
give you that. The
this
reveal
is the
dope.
part where it fucking This is where
It goes way off the rails.
This is where it goes off the rails for me.
More off the rails later.
It does.
This is where it starts.
But-
the wheels start going like this.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to get the
But now-
bearings on the tires are shot. They got to get them shit changed.
Oh yeah.
And fucking cars all over the road.
But no, at this point they haven't watched the videos. This is when Sydney finds him and then she brings him back to her mom.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. She
And then they watch it
picks him
together,
From the hospital,
yeah.
She brings it back to her mom's house, and they watch the videos.
She brought a whole case fucking back.
Yeah.
Here's files.
So
VHSs.
So basically, they find out, like I said, Madison and Gabriel share a brain and a spinal cord. So
basically
during
like-
Emily's childhood,
They're basically like Gabriel's like growing out of the back of her head. It's almost like Two-Face, except instead of split down the side, it's like here's Madison, here's Gabriel.
But it's like
yeah, pretty much.
Voldemort from like the end of the first Harry Potter movie, except he's fucking got like ribs and legs and arms and
Skeleton.
shit.
Yeah. He kind of looks like he looks like a backpack almost. He's like on her back, and he's like like the arms and legs are like fucking hanging off like this. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, it was fucking terrible. It
And-
looked terrible.
No, it's awesome. And also, even though he's just a little skeleton, he's like super strong. He can like toss people around, and he has like electromagnetic power. He can like control like electricity and shit. He's the fucking man.
I know Andy can't wait for that part. So basically, they're watching the videos and they find out that Dr. Weaver, operated on Emily and was able to remove Gabriel's body except for, I guess, part of the brain because they shared a brain.
Yeah,
Only
she
And he
said-
was made
certain parts
dormant.
that they couldn't remove because it would
would've
damage her
killed Madison,
brain. Yeah.
So he had to like they had to
Yeah.
like push him down into her brain basically and seal him up.
Yeah.
How? Like, I mean,
It's like the cask of Almontalado or whatever the fuck that thing was. Edgar Allan Poe. Seal them off in the.
but for real though, like that's like a good, decent sized like chunk of extra shit in your skull behind your brain. Like, wouldn't I mean?
Be having headaches like a motherfucker. I'd be like, what the
For real,
fuck?
like for your whole fucking
Right.
adult life.
I didn't know
Yep.
this existed.
So with that, he was made dormant but woke up when Madison's
Piece of shit.
Dirtbag,
Let's
husband.
go back to the
hu-
piece of shit husband because it's actually all his fault.
Yep.
Because he smashed her head against
Yeah.
the wall and that awakened Gabriel. If he didn't, wasn't doing a domestic abuse, she would have been fine. Well, maybe.
So
not,
now,
'cause
yeah.
we'll find out another thing that Gabriel was doing in a little bit.
Fucking both.
Yeah. So now we figured out that Gabriel is Madison, and the reason why she's seen things is because she's been actually there. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, that's another thing that actually Dr. Weaver explains is that because they share a brain, Gabriel can kind of like take control and like make Madison think she's seeing stuff that she's not really seeing. So like that's why she's like
Like, yeah, he could
she's
take
like there when at the murders. Obviously, just like in a way, it's like her doing it, but like he's making it seem to her like she's just at her house,
He's taking control of her body, but he's like making her like,
locking her mind away and like a inside
yeah, like her
mind, basically.
conscious is like thinking that she's like elsewhere, but she's there, not really. Yeah,
All right. Here we go.
I was getting bored.
No, I'm going here we go in the sense of this is the
Here we go.
There we go. Now we're going fully off the rails.
wild part.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
All right. So now Madison is in jail.
That's
And she's in
In the
a
holding
cell
Well, how did
with
she,
about
how she end up in jail again? So after the lady fell through the ceiling, they brought her for questioning.
They
and
arrested
put her
her.
in a cell, in a
Yeah,
holding
they
cell, right?
arrested her.
Okay, right.
yeah.
best scene. in the entire movie.
This
So
fucking scene, holy
there's about 20 girls in there with them, and she's
all-
just sitting there quietly.
all of them are like ridiculous racial stereotypes.
Yes.
Like holy
Yes.
shit.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
On all aspects of, there was people that looked like they were from the trailer park. There was people that looked like they were going to the disco. There was people that looked like they were straight from Mexico. Like there was people that were just, yeah, like
No,
like
let's
Sean
get
said,
into
a lot
it.
of
Let's not shy away from it. For real. The fucking mean ass white bitch. She was like straight up trailer trash with a bleach blonde fucking mullet, and she was mean as hell for no fucking reason.
no reason.
There was a
Well, I don't think they need a reason. They're like criminals. Like, first they're fucking.
But this is
Nah,
like
they fucked with her for
but
no
this was
fucking
so
reason.
well, they
over
don't
the
need a
fucking-
reason. They're
No,
probably in
this
jail
shit
for like
Nah.
just being
this shit
assholes.
was so ridiculous and over the top. There's like a black girl there who is like straight up from the like
She looks like Foxy Cleopatra.
70s.
from
exactly
Goldmember.
exactly. And then there's like a Spanish girl who's like total like she looks like she should be one of the mechanics on Pimp My Ride. But like for real, like fucking every awful like racial stereotype, and they're mad mean for like no reason. Like this girl just walks in and she's sitting there minding her business, and the fucking white trailer girl with the bleach blonde mullet walks up like, "What'd you do to get in here, honey? The country club closed. Oh, you didn't. What'd you do to get in here? You didn't separate the recycling properly." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
She was in a holding cell too.
Seriously.
She wasn't even in jail.
And then
She
she's
was in a
like,
holding cell.
oh, I mean, okay, so they're mistaking this girl for like a fucking rich girl when she's like this weird, like gothed out chick almost. And they're saying,
I mean, have you seen the house she lived in? She must be rich.
I wouldn't say she was goth. I feel like you're just saying like
But
she
she's
had black
wearing
hair.
all black and she's got like the fucking black hair, black bangs. She's all fucking pale and shit. You know what I'm saying? But then like they're just like mad mean for no reason. She's like, I don't want any trouble, and she's like says it mad quietly, like, I'm sorry, I don't want any trouble. And they get mad loud, like, I don't give a fuck what
bitch."
you want. And then they just start like fucking assaulting her
Yeah, just beat the shit
for
out
no
of her.
reason.
And then like my favorite line, I already told you guys. Oh shit, this bitch is having a seizure. Well, you just beat the fuck out of her. So
Because
yeah,
Malignant, aka Gabriel,
yeah, now Gabriel's gonna take
he
over.
does not like these racial tropes. So he's being awakened.
So this is when we actually see Gabriel, like, come
Emerge.
out. Yeah, he comes out of the
Emerge.
back of her
Weird.
skull, and they're like,
Well,
fucking
here's
teeth
the-
and like nasty shit.
Here's the fucked up part. This is probably the best scene of the entire movie.
No, not probably.
It is.
It is the best scene in the entire movie because she starts going through her deal and then like her eyes roll back. She's screaming. She puts her hand like this.
she was screaming from
and
mad
she
long
rips
her eyes
open
roll back.
her own skull as Gabriel's head pops out.
Mad slow.
And then
Now-
like all the other girls are just like, what the fuck?
There, are, Rob, how many girls you say in there? 20, right?
And no,
I'd
here's
say
the
about
best part.
20,
Here's
yeah.
the best part.
3 of them jumped her, and all 20 died.
Yeah,
No, because here's the best part: is the white trash bitch like takes one of the other girls and does like full
she's
wrestling
throwing
thing.
she's
Throws her
throwing
in front of her.
yep. What a heel.
That was awesome. And then like yeah, he just starts killing everybody. So Mazda starts moonwalking. Basically, like you say, this is what you realize what I was talking about before, where the movements are fucked up because basically when Gabriel comes out, he's for him it's walking forward, but it's like Madison's walking backwards. So like her fucking
Because again, the
limbs and everything are backwards.
Voldemort comparison. This
Yeah.
fucking thing is like out the back of her head facing that way.
And like she's like moonwalking and this was like she's doing like a dance routine, but she's fucking mad people up, snapping, ripping their necks out.
Snapping arms.
So she does like a curb stomp. She
Yup,
stomps
curb
and just
stomp.
explodes
Oh, I
someone's
forgot
skull.
about that.
And then she,
But like when she
turns
turns
over.
into Gabriel, though, she like breaks her arms and makes them go the
Yeah,
opposite
she, like,
way.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. That is the one plot hole where it's like, wouldn't her like limbs be all fucked up when she goes back to normal?
Well, what if
guess
she?
not.
What did like? I mean, not for nothing too. Again, we're talking about plot holes in this fucking movie. Like, so he's like breaking out the back of her fucking skull while she's laying in bed and shit. So she slept through that, and that just like healed up, and it's just like a little teeny
Every
tiny,
time.
Oh, we'll get to that.
a little teeny tiny like dried up puddle of blood like on her fucking pillowcase.
Trust me, we'll
Like
get
she
to
didn't
that.
have like fucking hardcore migraines. Her fucking brains didn't fall out the back of her head anytime before this. Anyway,
We'll get to that. Trust me. Movie ain't over yet.
Word. So she ends up getting out of the holding cell,
Well, he
going
saves-
through
he
the
saves
police
white
precinct.
trash bitch for last. He kills her. He kills the cop. The cop comes over and says, "What's the commotion?" He just grabs him, starts smashing his head against the bars mad times.
I heard a ruckus.
Could you describe the ruckus? Yeah. And then he gets out of the cell, and then he really goes off. Now he's Jackie Channing, motherfuckers.
Yep.
All the police in the police, building,
But
and
he's
then you
doing,
have the
like,
two
kung
main
fu
cops.
shit. I don't know if you caught it. He does like a Showtime Pettis, like kicks off the wall, and then does like a Superman punch with a knife in it right through the bitch's skull.
He's the fucking Matrix now. Now all of a sudden he learned how to be the Matrix. Learned how to
I
fight.
think the part that popped me the most out of the entire movie is at the tail end of the scene when Regina and the other dude are like running out the door, and Malignant's on the other side of the door, and he grabs like a wooden chair and throws it mad hard and mad far across this big ass huge room, and just hits them fucking both in the back of the head at the same time.
That scene in
Flush.
Elf when he throws the snowball and the kid's mad far away running away.
Flush.
No, I laughed out loud.
But then, like,
Oh
why?
my God,
But here's the
amazing.
thing, like, and this is kind of a thing that I thought about when I rewatched it today. Unfortunately,
Right?
he
Oh, now
threw.
you're turning on me?
No, dude, when the second time around, this shit was boring as fuck until the end. Like, the first time I saw it, it was like, oh, this is really interesting, like a mystery type of thing. And at the end, all hell broke loose. Today, when I rewatched it for this fucking purpose, to talk about this shit tonight, is why I'm so defensive about it, because it's very fresh in my mind. Like, it was like the first, like, fucking 40 minutes, half hour, or 45 minutes, or whatever, were boring as shit. So the part I found interesting the first time around was boring as shit the second time around. But anyway, I digress. Sorry, I'm fucking rambling now.
Well, no, I mean, to your point, like, any movie that has, like, a twist, it's always gonna, like, that only lasts the first time.
But what I was getting at, too, is, like, so this whole scene with the fucking chair throwing, as hilarious as it is, like, Malignant fucking murdered everybody in that fucking police, like, precinct. And all he did was, she, whatever, fucking threw the chair and just knocked them down, Regina and whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And then he just, like, left. Like, did he really think that fucking chair killed them? He just left them alive.
I think it was a thing where I don't think he cared about killing them. He wanted to get to the mom. Like, he was like,
guess,
fuck these
yeah.
two. I'm leaving. Like, I'm going to go kill my mom.
Oh, did he have to kill all those people to get out like that?
Yes.
Well, you kind of, yeah, because they were cops with guns. You had to get through them.
He was still getting shot at.
Yeah, true.
And he got jumped by the other girls. So the girls had to die. Cops had to die.
Yeah,
And
he did something to
stabbed
one of the girl
Regina
cops
with
too with
the-
like a chair. He like put a chair on her arms and then just like and snapped both her arms like
Yeah.
inside out.
Rob's getting impatient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, Rob. We're almost at the finish line. Go ahead.
I know. So now there Cindy and her mom are at the hospital, and Cindy's sitting next to her mom, and Gabriel ends
That's
up
not
coming
Cindy's
in.
mom.
Yeah, it's not her mom.
That's not Cindy's mom. That is
it's
Madison's
Madison's mom.
biological mother.
Oh my goodness!
Cindy's
All
biological
right,
mother.
you finish it. You finish the movie. I can't even say
Hold her
4
hand.
words without getting yelled at.
Go ahead, Sean. You finish it up. The big finale.
Yeah, I keep getting yelled at every time I open my mouth.
No. All right. So Sydney arrives at the hospital where Madison / Emily's biological mom is because she got fucking she fell through the goddamn attic roof. So she's like really injured. Shows up in the ward where the mom is, and there's a security guard there, and he's like, no, you can't come in. And she's like, oh,
This part's awesome. Too.
like, oh, this part is great. Like, this is fucked up too. Holy shit! What did this guy fucking do to deserve this? Well, like, she's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, so and so, blah blah, this everything. He's like, oh, you can't come in here unless the cop, the Shaw, is actually here with you. And then all of a sudden, he starts like, it looks like he's having a heart attack, but he's not really having a heart attack. She's like, oh, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And he's like fucking hurting.
He's
and
like, my
all-
pacemaker's going
He's got a
crazy.
pacemaker, and because Malignant, aka Gabriel, fucking communicates through the
Shockmaster 5000
electricity,
over here.
he fucking hacked this
It was like
motherfucker.
heart explodes.
He hacked this old ass security guard, this poor guy whose wife probably is just at home chilling on the couch, like smoking a pack of cigarettes every day for like 50 years, like, hey honey, when are you coming home? You know that shit. You know that guy's married
Never
to that.
anymore.
This guy got mad into fanfic
You
with
know-
the minorest character of the whole movie.
You know that's who that guy's married to, and he's just there doing his humble ass job, and then this girl shows up, and then all hell breaks loose, and fucking Malignant, aka Gabriel, hacks his fucking pacemaker, and his fucking heart explodes.
This guy's screaming so loud I can hear him coming through Rob's
My bad. My bad.
That's why I'm gonna let Sean finish the movie, because I say 4 words, I get yelled at. So I'm just gonna.
I'm sorry. But yeah, they go in the room, and I'll let Brent take it from here.
Well, no. What happens is, so the pacemaker, the guy's heart explodes. He dies. Lights go out for a second, come back up. It's like pro wrestling. Gabriel's right there. He like slashes at what's the sister's
Gets
name
her
again?
cheek, Sydney.
Right? He slashes at her, but she's able to like get in the room. I don't think he gets in right away, right? Or
She tries to like slam the door. She tries to slam the door on him, but he just like fucking breaks in.
yeah, and then Shaw shows up. He starts like shooting at him. But I think he's kind of like taunting him. He's like, "Go ahead, shoot, because they're just gonna kill him out of there or something." Like,
Oh, Sydney's like, "Oh no, don't shoot him because you're gonna kill Madison at the same time."
yeah, but he fucks the cop up. Then he like he fucks Sydney up. He like throws her down and like throws the hospital bed on top of her, so she's
Yep.
like crushed,
She's
all
like pinned
fucked
against
up.
the wall.
And then he's like about to kill her, and like the
mom wakes up.
Yeah, the mom's like, "Oh, Gabriel."
So Madison's
please don't."
biological mom, also Malignant's biological mom, she's like, "I'm so sorry. I should have loved you no matter how much of a fucking piece of shit monster you are."
And he's like, "Yeah, bitch, you should have. Too late now." And then he does some cool like back march thing with a gun.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Goodbye, sis," and he just blows her brains out.
But not really. But not really.
Well, that's the thing. Right before that, Sydney she's like saying to Madison, like, you can take control. You got to come back out. And then she's like, "He was feeding off your fetuses. That was why you had the miscarriages.
That's why you
He was
had all
feeding
those
off
miscarriages."
The fetuses that regain strength and blah, blah, blah." So then now she's pissed. So now she like starts like moving her hands and shit. And like basically like Madison takes back control. So the part where he blows their brains out like doesn't actually happen. It's actually like Madison turning the tables on him, making him see shit that's not actually happening. So like she's basically in control now.
Yep.
She like slams Gabriel in like a mental prison. Like it actually looks like a prison.
Well,
like,
it's
in
the
their
same
mind.
prison. It's the same jail cell that she was in where she
Yeah.
fucked everybody up.
Yeah. And then he's like, "You can't do this to me." And then he's like, "You don't deserve your body. I'll use it better than you." And blah, blah, blah. And then she's like,
Yeah, I bet he would.
Oh, well, got it.
And then he's like, "You'll always be stuck with me." And he's like, "I'll get out of here sometime." She's
She's
like,
like, "I know you will,
"I know you
and
will,
I'll be
but
prepared."
when you do, I'll be ready for you." This part was mad corny and melodramatic.
Yep.
And then he slams the door and he's like, "No!" And then that's basically the end. Oh, and she takes control. She gets the bed off her sister's okay. I mean, her like leg is fucked up, but she's not
This
gonna die.
bitch turns into Superman out of
Well,
fucking nowhere.
you know what? That part, people
It
were saying
says-
that. People were saying that because she says something like, "It's always my body," basically saying that she's strong enough. Dude, a hospital bed, like, I feel like it's not that heavy, like that someone would.
They have so much machines on that.
Hospital bed
No,
by
but you
herself.
what?
It's like a
Like
plastic
that.
Okay,
frame.
but
Like, I
fucking,
don't-
but when Gabriel had control, he's doing like fucking Cirque du Soleil down like mad fucking floors, fire escapes and shit.
Trust me, I'll get to that one too.
Well, once again, that's like a nitpicky thing. We can like argue over that, but like again, it's a fucking movie. Like whatever, she's strong. So she saves her sister, and she's like gives her this heartfelt thing, like, "I always want a blood connection, but it was there all along. Like you're my sister, and I love you." Blah 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 blah. And that's basically the end. The only thing is then you hear like the sinister humming of like the Electra from like a lamp, which is basically telling you like Gabriel's still there.
He's still there,
Sequel.
lurking in the shadows. Now,
So can I say why? Like, I thought it was kind of a shit ending.
So much. Well, yeah. Like, go ahead, Rob. Say why you hated the ending first.
So and again, I know this is stupid. This is just my preference. I get mad about a lot of movies for the same exact reason. Is all of this shit just happened, and then they just end. Like, don't you think that Madison would have gotten put in jail?
Yep.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, the entire police department was just killed. Like,
But I think Shaw
20
knows
inmates was just killed.
that like she didn't have like it wasn't really her. She didn't have control.
But on cameras, how are you going to prove that in court?
Yeah.
There's cameras. So that's what I'm like, she would have been put in jail for life. Like, the amount of people she randomly killed, like, she would have gotten the death sentence. It would have just been like, you just killed 50 people in a night. Like,
Yep.
but it just ended like super happy, like, yeah, I have my sister and my mom's still alive. But it's like, what about the trail of bodies you left? And just like, oh no, I tucked them away in my head.
have you ever seen?
It's like, what?
Jane Silent Bob Strike Back.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Fictional characters. Fictional characters. It's a fake movie. Not
But
supposed
it's
to be
my
real.
opinion. But it's my opinion.
You're entitled to that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Don't make it right.
And I don't like a lot of movies that do that just like end so abruptly, and there was clearly a big story that like even like
It didn't have enough
Halloween.
loose ends for you.
So you want like
I just need something.
You want the Lord of the Rings Return of the King ending where it's like 40 minutes of like old ass pedophiles watching these little kids jump on the bed together.
No, it's more like, when they do it, like they end abruptly, but then they'll do like 3 months later, and then they'll do like a 30-second clip,
Look, if you
and you're like,
saw-
okay, that cleaned it up for me.
Yeah.
I agree. I enjoy a follow up, but you know what?
But that's just it.
I'm okay.
But that was like, I was like,
Exactly why.
I just can't wrap my head around 60 people dying, and then she's just smiling like, yay. It's kind of the reason why I stopped watching American Horror Story
Yeah, it does
after
that a lot.
season 1.
Does that a lot.
Because if you remember, at the end of season 1, it was like all the fucked up things happen. The family dies, and it's like they were tortured the whole
Spoiler
season.
alert.
It's season 1. It's like,
I
come
never
on.
watched it
It's
actually.
like 20 years ago.
I never watched it.
No. Well, basically, all this shit happens to them, and then they're just like smiling around the Christmas tree, and I'm like,
What else do you do around a Christmas tree?
Krampus did that shit and pissed me off.
We
I
need to
understand.
watch that movie.
I watched that recently, but same thing. It was
The
like
new one?
they
New
all
Krampus?
clearly died. Which one?
The new Krampus, you watched it
The one with
from like a couple years ago with Ben fucking Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I've seen that a couple times.
it's fucking awesome, right?
Yeah, but same thing at the ending. It's just like all the torture, and then it's just like, ha. It's like, but what about all that other shit that just happened? It's like, give it a little credit. Like that took a lot. I don't know. That's just me with a lot of these movies. Not this one specifically, just like a lot of the movies.
I get it.
You're not intellectual enough, bro.
Nah, it just ended abruptly.
A lot of it's mental.
And didn't mean shit.
A lot of it's mental, psychological shit. Like
Mental,
this
psychological.
movie was about a woman taking control back. It's like the Jennifer Lopez movie where she was like abused and then she fucking went on a rampage and took her life back.
No,
Yeah.
wait, hold on. Time out.
This is
Time out.
James
Time
Wan's
out.
Enough.
Time out. There's no way in
my
hell
God.
you can put a masterpiece like Enough next to fucking Irrelevant, the movie. Okay?
What?
She took time to train and become this.
Again,
This bitch was like, I've had the strength this entire time. I'm Superman. Watch me lift
She's
this
been
metal from
training
you."
in the back of her mind the whole time without even knowing it.
Oh my god!
Washing the fucking dishes while the back of her head's fucking stabbing people in the throat with their own fucking forearm.
It's not the back of her head though. Gabriel has arms.
Her arms.
Her arms.
No, it's his arms.
It's not his arms. They cut his arms off when they cut the
When
cancer out.
when he takes control of her brain and her body, it becomes his arms.
Andy, I want to hear what your overall thoughts are.
Nothing to say.
Since you've
I've
been
waiting
quiet,
for this all day. Why
because
you-
he's been quiet the whole time. I need him to just go.
I'm gonna jump around here. So when after she sees her dead boyfriend, which fuck, I don't know where to start.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, no, deservingly so, because he was a dick.
Dead husband.
Let's start there. So okay, she can control fucking electronics. It's a fucking reach.
Only speakers.
reach.
Only speakers.
No, because
Cell
he turned
phones.
he turned on the blender.
But isn't
any
it?
electric thing.
He turned on
Wait,
the
does he control it or is he like
The
drawing?
street light.
So here's the thing. He turned on the blender, right?
Yeah.
And he opened the door.
Yep.
So in the beginning of the movie, you think it's like a demon entity. Fucking awesome. But then at the end of the movie, when you realize it's just her, did the bitch just crawl over and go, tee-hee, door's open to the refrigerator. Now I'm on the couch. Hey, I'm sitting on the couch. Turn the light on. Oop, I'm going to hide down now and run away. Like,
That's true.
as
That's
a
true.
body, it's not like a demon. So then none of that makes any fucking sense. And then if she doesn't have
Is
the
it
weapon,
that it doesn't make sense or you just don't like it?
it doesn't make any fucking sense.
You can say that about any horror movie though. Why did the killer just open the fridge and then walk out? Or why is he hiding? Why did he just stab
and
the
you're
guy
talking
in
about
the-
like
if it's,
Because
if
they're trying
it's
to build
a,
and
suspense.
how many horror movies out there where like the same things you're talking about, but it's like a little scary like dead kid that's running around like tee hee hee, open the fridge, hee hee hee, flick the lights.
But it's a dead kid and it's a demon. That's a different story. This one,
Or like Paranormal Activity, it's like an actual ghost,
something
and
else.
they're flicking.
yes.
You just reminded me of something. There is a weird scene in this movie that's never explained. It's real quick, where she's like walking down the stairs with her laundry basket, and she does see like a little kid or something like run
Yeah,
across.
you're right.
Oh yeah.
Never explained like
That's
what that
true.
was. Like I don't.
That's true. And that's another thing. It makes you think that it's all demon. It's all
Like,
demon. When she's
Paranormal.
That's
Yeah.
the twist. That's the twist.
Then
That would have been better.
Away from herself up the stairs, and what is she doing? Opening and closing the door by herself when she's fighting the fucking demon to get
Okay,
the door closed.
okay. Here's the
That
thing.
part, because I was thinking that at first too, but because that part is he's not actually happening. That's the part where he's like making her
Right.
think. That's the
And same
vision
thing.
that
but
he's
same,
giving her.
Same thing with the little kid Shadow.
Yeah, that could have been too. That's right.
Okay.
And here's the thing too. Okay, just for the sake of whatever, all this shit we're saying, you're like, oh, this, that, and the other thing. If it was what you said it should have been, it would have been cool. Would be sitting here talking about it like this, because then it would just be like every other horror movie.
Well, no, because you could still do it in a different way and still make it like okay. So take Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers. Like they fuck with people. They'll open doors and they'll fucking leave shit open. They'll drop shit here and there. Understandable. Then it's suspense. This one, it was almost like you
Taking
had
over her
demon,
body and making her see
But-
shit that wasn't there.
But it made the boyfriend think that there was a demon there when it was a physical body there. And
It was
when
his wife.
running away from the cop, she's not that fucking quick. Like the cop is right on her tail. You mean to tell me she's able to fucking
Not
phase
really.
from the couch somewhere?
That's
else?
true.
He's on her
To the
tail.
body?
Not really.
He was
That's-
right behind her. The only reason why he
Motherfucker
wasn't
had to
is
jump
because-
off like the second story and bounce off a dumpster to
Yeah,
fucking
he
catch
had
up.
to-
If you subtract the fire escape, he is keeping up with
He
her.
was right on her tail. Like, okay, so the demon, or whatever the fuck you want to call him, learn how to do parkour down fucking stairs.
Parkour.
Like he was able, like he was keeping, and then you also saw like when they were fighting, or you realize like, oh, it's a human body. Like he was able to get hurt like a human body. He was like he wasn't dodging bullets. Like he was just fucking miss and sucked. So then it went from, oh, this could be a demon thing to, oh, it's just a fucking normal body that's possessed and taken over.
It's not a normal body though, because it's possessed.
But it's still a physical human body.
But he's like Gabriel's like a supernatural being. Like he can do
Yeah.
weird shit. Like I get what you're saying because it's a human body, but he's like manipulating it. Like it's, it's
Can I kind of try to defend Andy a little
go
bit?
ahead.
All right. So I get what Andy's saying because it is a human body. So you would hear them move, you would see them move, or you would recognize that someone's around you. In the scene with her husband, when the blender turns on, that's fair. The blender was on before he got into the room. But in the time he was in the room, the refrigerator opened up, the door opened. So because it was her physical body, the fuck you would have seen. You would have seen that person, or heard the footprints, or like, you know what I'm saying, like the stomps of the feet. Like you would have.
Nah, Malignant went to.
There's no way you move that fast and that smoothly and not be seen, or a shadow or something.
Do you have a Malignant in your head? How do you
But
know
in
that
that
it won't be
same-
mad quiet?
But in that same concept, then why didn't she phase away from the cop? She didn't. You saw her. You saw the cop chasing after the entire time. She was running. She didn't phase, or she didn't fucking show up anywhere just magically. She didn't pull the taker at the end where the lights come on and she appears there and fucking kills the cop.
What are you
She
talking
was
about?
running when in the chase scene.
Yeah, when they ended up in the basement with the fucking horse-drawn
He's
carriages and
chasing her
shit.
down the street. Then
Yeah.
they get into the room, and then he's running around, and you see her crawl up the fucking wall. But in the beginning, she fucking phases and disappears from the couch, and then all of a sudden he turns the light on, and she's not there anymore. Where the fuck she go?
Yeah. So basically, so Andy's saying that the cop scene, when the chase scene, the Malignant was not that fast. But then in the husband dying scene, is like Madison was essentially on the couch. He turned the light on and she was gone. So it made it seem very paranormal that they could like
Remember,
teleport.
he can also do shit like there's some scenes where he's like hiding up like Spider-Man, like he's up in
Up
the
in the
fucking
corner of the fucking
corner.
room and shit,
Maybe
yeah.
he's hiding in the room. The room
He
is
ain't getting up
dark.
there that quick.
Like,
There's no way in hell he's getting up there that
I
quick.
mean, again,
But again, that's just
like it's a movie.
it is a
like,
thing.
yeah.
But
Yeah, it is a
that's
movie.
where, like, when I first watched it, I was like, all right, this is cool. The reveal was cool, and then it went to shit. Then when you watch it again, it's just like, It's the story doesn't stay the same. If you think about it,
Well,
because
'cause-
the story starts off where it's like it's demonic. It's
Well, that's what
a
they want
demonic
you to
being.
think.
They want
don't-
they keep
Yeah.
you
the
guessing
whole
before the
reveal is like,
twist.
I never saw that coming. That it's like
But
a
then you get
fucking
to a
guy
person,
growing out of her body.
exactly. But then you get to a person, you're just like, wait a second, how did that happen? If it was just the body of the person, like I get her being stuck in the wall, like that's dope as shit. He had time to get up there before the cop walked through the door. I get that, but in the beginning where like he's fucking doing all that shit, and then all of a sudden it's just a normal person.
I can see it's a little far fetched in the beginning,
I just
but I think they were trying to swerve you.
spend my disbelief higher than you guys all. I guess.
Yeah.
So
No, that's like the Undertaker fucking turned into ECW zombie. That's what that was. You take Taker's all fucking
That's a bit of a stretch.
power.
Yeah.
Like you hear the gong, he's up here, and then the lights go out, and then all of a sudden the lights come back on. He's in the ring behind you, choke slam tombstone. Now all of a sudden you hear the gong, and the zombie walks down the fucking aisleway. Like it was two different characters.
That's a bit of a stretch.
As the movie goes on, like it's not the same character as the beginning.
It's not the same.
It's not the same character. No way. If you would have said she was sitting there with him and all that shit happened, then I could say, okay, it's being told from her perspective of what she was seeing. But it wasn't. It was just the dickhead boyfriend and fucking irrelevant, and all that shit happened.
I get what you're saying. I understand it.
I get what you're but
It's definitely more of a stretch. They stretch it. They try to swerve you in the beginning.
They did.
That seems to be
And
the issue.
I get it because
it's
when
about to swerve, bro.
when the reveal happened, it popped the shit out of me. I'm not
Vince
gonna lie.
Russo wrote this movie.
When the reveal happened, I was like, "That's cool. That's different. That's awesome." Wait a second. Now none of this makes sense.
I think you're looking way too deep into this.
Well,
me
that's
off.
part of it too. Like I said, this is a B horror movie. I feel like that's what it's supposed to be, or it's like at least a tribute to them. So like, I feel like you can't overthink it. Like,
Santa Slay was better.
But again, I'm going to be fair. I think like going into Santa's Slay, I knew it was a B horror film, so I went in
Yeah.
expecting campiness. I went into this movie again.
making like a
We already
series.
talked about and then it was like 100% not. And I think at that point my expectations was already let down. So then it was just I'm going to pick this shit apart.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
fair, I
agree.
guess.
I agree.
But I only saw it once.
Expectations on anything, and this way I'm never disappointed when shit goes downhill.
Yeah, but this is the same guy who did Dead Silence. This is the same guy who did Conjuring. This is the same guy.
So
who...
I
Saw.
when I watched it the first time, I went into it like watching the trailers and stuff. I was like, okay, this is like a scary movie. It looks kind of interesting. I'll check it out. But I did hear like people say something about like having like a bonkers twist before I watched it. So I kind of was expecting like, oh, what's it gonna be? Like I didn't guess that that's what it was gonna be. But
Well, I remember I watched it a couple days later because you texted me and you're like, "Yo, did you watch *Malignant* yet?" I'm like, "No, not yet." And they're like, "Okay." It goes off the rails. It really goes off the rails. It's good.
I was like, I can't tell. I don't know if it's good or not, or if I like it or not. I just know it was bonk airs.
Yeah. Well, are we at the point now where we're doing like final thoughts?
Yeah, just whatever.
Yeah,
General
like,
discussion.
That's kind of where so the first time I watched it, Brett and I and Andy, we watched it like a year ago when it first went on to HBO. Rob just watched it like last weekend. He was in a certain state of mind, and we were getting text messages. I woke up at like 2 in the
Hi,
morning.
baby.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to like fucking 40 goddamn text messages. My phone wouldn't stop
Were you
buzzing.
sober when you watched this, Rob?
No.
I was drunk. I was drunk.
I wish I was when I first
Yeah.
watched it.
But no, the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, it's really interesting. The first like 3/4 of it,
Agreed.
loving the mystery of it. It does go off the rails, but it's so off the rails that it's still very entertaining. And for a long time, I had the same opinion as Brent, where I was like, hey, I don't know how the fuck I feel about this overall. Because that first 3/4 or so, like, interesting and whatever. And then, again, it goes off the rails. But I don't know if I love it or hate it or somewhere in the middle. But I will say I watched it again today because I watched it the time I saw it was a year ago. I watched it again earlier today to refresh my mind. And I will say that first 3/4 of it that I enjoyed so much the last time. I thought it was boring as shit today. And then when it went off the rails, I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome and horrible.
The reveal and the prison scene. Hell yeah. No, I 1,000% agree.
Yeah, it for me, if we're going to give our last takes on it, for me, I don't need to see this movie ever again. It's very entertaining. It's enjoyable, but like it's not something that I will ever come back and be like, yo, let's watch Malignant today.
I will watch it again. 2 thumbs up. I love it.
Oh my god.
I love it.
I will say, fuck this movie. I'm gonna give credit where credit is due though, because it did have a lot of good jump scare spots / kept you on your toes, trying to figure out what it was.
There was no jump scares in this for me.
I think there was one.
Yeah, like the beginning.
When you see
Like when you
the doctor's face in the laundry in the washing machine, that was kind of a jump scare.
Was it?
Yeah, because like she opens the laundry thing and then you just see the lady's face, like like screaming at her, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. It had its moments. I like the calls to his other movies, like I said before, like in Conjuring when they're crawling over her to get to him. I thought that was cool. Or when they're walking back and forth. The reveal was dope, and the transitions when they were doing the murders were dope. The overall story still pisses me off. I think the movie should go to hell and burn, and I'm never gonna watch this shit again.
I will. This is going on my Halloween every year list. Just to clarify, too, we probably should have saved this for Halloween, but we did, for the long-time listeners, we did mention this movie on our top 5 horror movie. It wasn't on the list, but we talked about it at the end, and said we were gonna review it, and it took us like almost a year to do it.
I think I'm more mad about it now than I was a year ago.
That's okay. We're gonna come up with something even better for Halloween. We're gonna watch Monstered, or like a really bad horror movie, or Killer Sofa, something on Tubi.
Oh my god.
Tubi
has some rough movies.
Tubi is amazing, and we're not getting paid for this, but Tubi is an amazing destination for B horror movies.
It is.
And D and C and E horror movies.
So bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the horror movie we made was
Rob, your thoughts.
That was way better than all this shit.
My thoughts, like Sean said, like I actually, besides the opening sequence, the first time I only watched it once. So besides the opening sequence, I thought it was very campy. But I thought the actual movie up to the reveal had me like, oh shit, like how are they going to take this? So I was actually pretty interested.
You didn't like the reveal, Rob.
I didn't like the reveal.
You're like the only one. That's like the best part of the movie. I don't understand how you don't like it.
See, I just thought it was too over the top because, like, she's no. How about to be fair? I thought the reveal was cool up to like the video, like the VHS of Sydney and her mom watching it to show like they were attached and like that whole aspect. I thought that, but the jail scene and beyond, I was like. I just thought it was too much, and the
I'm gonna let you. No, you finish.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you finish.
So I just.
Malignant is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Fuck that movie.
Oh my god. So like you were saying before, the fact that like he breaks her arms and then he like moonwalks and then like cracks open her head, I'm just like, this is different, but wow. And then for me, it just kind of went down. And then the ending, I already explained it. I didn't really like it. But the first,
I'll be right back.
I don't know, 20, 40 minutes of the actual movie, I actually I did enjoy it.
All right, that's fair. What were you going to say?
So, the ending. The end of the movie. When she takes her power back, right? She gets everything back. She finally takes her power back from him. Then she gets rid of him, and you see the hole in the back of her head close up. And you see his face go away in the back of her head. How? It's not supernatural, right? He was there. He was somebody.
She took control, bro.
How did the hole just close up?
She took control and she stuffed him. When she put him in the prison, stuffed him back in the skull.
How? And that's the end of that.
Yeah. I don't have much more to say.
I don't either.
It got me, and then it went down. It went like this for me. It went.
Nah.
Yeah.
Went like this, and then it kept going up all the way up to the sky.
Now it
To the moon.
it went negative, hopped up a little bit, and then dropped again.
Nah.
Word.
Haters.
Haters. It's all good. It was a good first bad movie review. I'm okay with it. It was interesting enough that we were able to talk about it for an hour and a half. So Sean was very passionate about it,
Facts.
and Andy was pretty quiet. I thought he was going to be more angry, but maybe not this time.
I had to get it all out at the end.
I don't know. I kind of heard towards the end that you kind of warmed up on it a little bit. You complimented it more than I thought you were going to.
Oh no, it had its good moments. I'll give credit where credit's due. It's still a shitty movie.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be on my rewatch list. That's for sure.
No.
No. Yeah, but if we don't have anything else, we can end the podcast right here, gents.
I think I'm done with this shit.
Yeah, I'll just apologize for the technical difficulties.
I destroyed the set.
I could not hear, I could not hold the 2-episode recording beer piss any longer.
Understood.
What are you talking about
Understood.
2 episodes? That was last week, bro. What are you...
Facts.
We recorded 2 episodes tonight.
That was last week.
Oh yeah, my bad. I've been here for a week in the same clothes with no shower or pissing or food.
Well, remember to like, share, rate, review, comment, and subscribe. Andy and I have a couple of episodes ideas coming. Miss Marvel, The Boys Season 3, Resident Evil Netflix series. Someone wants to challenge me to a Hot Wings challenge.
Oh, for
So
real?
Ooh, yeah.
Who's that?
there's some stuff coming. There's some stuff coming. Andy could tell you afterwards. So for Disaster Party Podcast.
Hey, I'm sorry. What's going to be
Yeah.
the next movie we shit on and argue about?
We'll have to discuss that and announce it.
Any suggestions right now, though, off the top of our heads?
Are we sticking with
Fast
scary
9.
movies or
Anything.
Well, yeah, okay.
I haven't seen Fast 9, so I'm
I
okay
haven't seen
with
it
that.
either. Rob fucking loves it.
I hate it.
I'm gonna have to
Fast 9 it is.
rewatch it. I guess.
You want to do
It's
that?
that bad. I'm gonna have to rewatch it too.
I haven't seen it. I'll do it.
Take notes this time. Maybe we should watch it.
Yep.
All right, Fast
No, we're not wasting our time on that for our fucking baseball movie day. Sorry, side to side.
Word.
Baseball
All right.
stuff.
For Disaster Party Podcast, I'm Rob Stadio. And we are out. Bye. Bye.